The worst chipping advice ever is to hit down on the golf ball. We're going to talk about that here today, and what I tell you just might surprise you. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV, and my favorite thing to teach and to coach is chipping. And why is that? Well, because most amateur golfers, regular players, experienced golfers, you know who you are, you do a lot of chipping. Because you're probably not hitting a lot of greens in regulation, so you get this type of shot very often. So let's talk about, we're going to talk about the design of the golf club a little bit, we're going to talk about the motion, we're going to talk about the setup, okay, and then we're going to talk about the motion, and then I'm going to give you a simple and easy drill in order to pull this all together. So I want you to think about this particular visual. When you're on an airplane and the airplane comes into land, it comes in at an angle, right? Hopefully the airplane doesn't go straight down, right? It comes in at an angle, whatever the angle is. I'm not a pilot. If you're a pilot, tell me in the comments. I would love to, because we do a ton of traveling and I would love to know. I would gather though, based on the wind and stuff, there's a particular angle that the plane comes in and it kind of touches, okay, and glides, all right? And then if we're doing kind of touch and goes, they call them, it comes in, it lands, and it takes off. But that angle is a shallow angle. And that's the visual you want to have with the golf club when you're chipping. So let me go ahead and just hit a shot, and then we're going to talk about the setup and the technique. So when I make the motion here, just watch the movement of the club. See that? Am I hitting down? No. Is the club traveling down? Sure, it's definitely traveling down, but it's traveling down and through. Let's go ahead and hit a shot. So here we go. Set up. Back and through. All right, now, how do we actually execute this shot? Well, first of all, let's talk about the setup. If you followed any of our stuff here at US Golf TV, I dedicated an entire chapter to chipping in the book, The Bad Lie, that we just released, because that's how important it is. So here's what you got to do in your setup. First of all, ball position. All right, I want the ball to be positioned in the middle of the heels. Common instruction would tell you to move the ball off your back foot. Matter of fact, my buddy Nick and I did a video on this years ago. It's had literally millions of views, and that's one of the concepts we talked about was ball position, all right? So I want the ball to be in the middle of the heels. That's tip number one. Tip number two is I want the toes to be flared out slightly. See that? See how my toes are kind of flared out? They're not square. They're what I call flared out a little bit. And then here's probably the most important thing. That is that I want a little bit of weight into the lead foot. Okay, and all of our coaching, all of our stuff, you know I'm a big believer in the 60-40 split, right? It's part of the vertical line swing concept, but in chipping, it's probably 65 or 70%, right? Okay, so I've got 65 or 70% of my weight forward, ball in the middle of my heels, toes flared a little bit. Now, let's talk about handle position. This is where I want to get some dialogue going with you. I'm going to tell you what I think, but I want you to tell me what you think and put that in the comments, all right, along with where you're from. You know I love hearing about that. It's my routine in the morning. Check the comments, respond, see where people are from, all right? I believe in almost all shots around the green that the shaft should be neutral to slightly in front. So as we're set in here, the butt end of the club is equal to the ball or ever so slightly in front. Okay, but where do you think it should be? Let's go ahead and put that in the comments and we can kind of debate that back and forth. So let's review, then we're going to talk about the motion. And I'm going to give you my favorite drill that I give everybody when it comes to chipping. So ball in the center of the heels, toes out, weight left, hand a little forward, all right? Let's go ahead and hit another shot. Uh-oh, Nick, get that camera. All right, not too bad. Good distance, maybe a little bit to the right, but I'll take that every single time. Now, what about the motion? If I'm not hitting down on the golf ball, what should I be doing? Well, believe it or not, and I've done some videos on this, hopefully you can check them out, but on the bottom of the club here, this is what we call the flange, the bottom, the sole, whatever word you want to use, but there's some curve to it. It's called bounce. Okay, there's some curve on the bottom of it. We did a whole video on this that you can check out. But in essence, what that does, that allows the club to bounce through the turf. Okay, so when you're swinging this club around the greens, I got a 54, might use a 58, pitching wedge, doesn't matter. All right, I want that club to come in and I want to bounce through the turf. Okay, if I hit down on it, I take divots in the club. And now I'm exaggerating that, I know. You can hold back on the comments. I know I'm exaggerating that, but you get the point, right? All right, if I hit down on it. The other thing is that if you get your hands too far forward, okay, I'm gonna move over here. If you get the hands too far forward and the leading edge goes down, that can also cause the club to dig, all right? So I get the hands forward and the club will also dig. So I want that club to come on a descending blow, descending, but then it goes through. Let's go ahead and hit one more here. Ball in the center of the heels, toes flared, weight left, butt end of the club ever so slightly in front of the heel, in front of the ball. Slight descending motion. I got a little bit behind that. You can see it came out a little bit softer than I anticipated. All right, so what's a simple drill you can do to help you with this? All right, this one is not easy, but it's a golden one. And that is to simply make swings with your trail hand only. So I'm gonna grip it in my trail hand, my right hand. I'm gonna go ahead and grip down on it, take my other hand and put it behind my back or wherever, and just make some practice swings. Now, why does this work? And I wanna give you one other tip I didn't plan on talking about here, but you're sticking around long enough, I'm gonna give you some bonus stuff here. This drill works because in order to move this club back and through, see the continuous motion? I love the continuous motion stuff, okay? I have to naturally let the club swing a little bit, okay? Right? I would never have this club swing in a continuous motion and hit down like that. It just isn't natural. And a lot of great golf and a lot of coaching of golf is about what's natural for the person. It's a whole reason behind why you're here and hopefully why you follow us at US Golf TV, because we want to teach you things that are natural and easy. This isn't the place to come for 38-degree angle on the wrist and 24-degree angle on the downswing. This isn't the place for you, right? This is natural and easy stuff. So when you let that club swing natural and easy, it naturally bounces through there. So, and you can go ahead and actually hit shots like that if you want to. Now, let me give you the bonus tip, just because I like you today and I'm trying to have some fun. Nick's laughing at me because he thinks I'm getting long-winded. So if you think I'm getting long-winded, put it in the comments. We don't care. If you're still here, I'm going to keep giving you dang good information to help you play better golf. And that is this. Watch this, okay? This is gold right here. When you swing the club back, let the toe of the club swing slightly open, okay? Let it swing slightly open. Let me show you what I mean. So when that club goes back, let the toe of the club swing slightly. See that? That toe swing allows the club to get a little bit more loft, but more importantly, it allows the club to bounce through the turf. A lot of golfers who struggle with their chipping, when they take it back, they shut it down, okay? And if you've stuck around long enough, it's like watching the previews at the end of a movie and all of a sudden they start showing the bonus clips. This is for you. So when you're set in there, ball in the center of the heels, toes out, weight a little forward, butt end of the club slightly in front of the ball. I'm gonna swing it back, let the toe swing a little bit. Oh, that could be the best one of the, ooh, that was pretty good, hit the ball. Those tips right there are gonna help you improve your chipping.